What's up, guys? Welcome to the Quarantine. I'm your host, Wolf, and today I'm going to be taking a look at a game called Pod X by Button Shy Games. Now, Pod X is a light, quick little deduction game where one player knows the secret scoring, how the secret scoring is going to work, and everybody else has to use the actions of that player to determine what the secret scoring is in order to try to then score the points. But that's really the best way to explain the game. The game plays 3 to 4 players and plays in about 15 to 30 minutes. So let's just dive right into the gameplay. Alright, this is basically Pod X set up, ready to play. As usual, I do feel I need to state that this is a review, it is not a tutorial, so if I mess up on some rules, I am sorry, but it should still give you a good idea of whether or not the game is for you. Anywho, if you have 3 players, you will take out the 2 8s and 2 0s, which will make sense in a minute. If not, you'll shuffle all the cards together. You'll give each player 4 cards, as you see here. That should leave you with 1 remaining card. And then you will determine who is going to be the first player. Once you've determined who the first player is, that player will look at this card. And when you look at a card, you have the pod number. You have whether or not it is port or starboard up here. You have the name. You have the star value, which is generally, it's the points of the card. You have some nice little arc. And then down here you have the secret objective. So for example, here it says the final escape pod location is the highest sum of private stars. As you see there. Here's the card a little closer so you can see it. So what that would mean is, when you're looking at your hand, you have 2 different things. Cards in your hand are private. The cards that you play, which will make sense in a minute, are considered public. So whoever has the highest sum of stars in their hand will win. So we have a 3, we have a 1, we have a 4, and a 5. So that's quite a bit of stars. So the goal is to have the most stars left in your hand. So the dealer will always play first, and you have 3 actions you get to do. You can play a card, so you'll take a card from your hand and you will play it face up so everybody can see it. You can pass. Pass just means you're not going to play anything right now, and when it comes back around to you, you still have an option to play or pass. The last action is you can fold. So let's say we've already played these 2 cards and we're pretty confident that we're going to be able to win, so we're going, you know what? We fold. These cards here stay here. So you're still in the running to be able to win, but it does not come back around to you anymore. So you've basically stated that you're locked in, nothing else is going to happen. So let's see, we got all of these numbers here. So, this player, the player sitting here will be the first player. So they want to try to get rid of their crappy 1-star card. So they will play this as their first action. This player might be thinking, okay, they need to have the highest sum, or maybe the highest card on the table. So this player has an 8, a 4, a 1, and a 5. So this player will also play their 8. And this player looks at theirs and sees that they have a 0, a 1, a 2, and a 7. And they don't, if it's the highest card, highest public, they're not going to be able to win. So they will play maybe this, a 7. In case maybe it's going to be the highest sum and they'll get some more cards out. And then this player is going to look at their hand and think, okay, well, there's not really anything they can do. 7, a 3, a 2, and a 6, pardon me. They can play this 7 and split the victory with this player, but they're going to just pass. So then it goes back to this player, and they look and they have 5, so it's 9, so it's 12 stars that they have in their hand. So you know what? They're going to go play a 6. Try to get some more cards out of people's hand. So this player is going to, they played 2 cards, so maybe it's a highest sum now. So they will play a 5. This player will go ahead and look at their hand and see that there's not really anything else they could do, so they'll go, you know what, I'll fold. I don't want to do anything else. So they'll take their cards, toss them here, they're done. This player goes, you know what, I will also just fold. And this player, a little stressed out now because that's a lot of stars over here, is going to, okay, well, I'll pass, and then I'll pass. Everybody's passed or folded. They'll flip this over. the highest sum of private stars. So this player has 6, 10, this player has 12. This player only has 9 now, they messed that up. This player has 2, and this player has 5. So the victory goes to this player. Now this player would get whatever the star value is here in points. And you'll take all these and you'll shuffle them all back together. You'll deal the cards out again, and the dealer will pass clockwise, and you'll do this whole thing over again until one player gets 10 points. That person that gets 10 points is declared the victor. There's a couple other nuance rules where if 2 players both achieve the victory, then they both get the points. And if I'm not mistaken, you can have a tied victory as well. So anyways, let's go straight to the final thoughts, shall we? Alright, Podex. I honestly have mixed feelings about Podex. The last game that Button Shy Game made was, that I got to review anyways, was the, was it Super Pocket League, I think it was called? And we actually really enjoyed that. One of my favorite games is BattleCon Devastation of Endines, which you can actually see right here. I have all of them. And it was a light version of that, and I really enjoyed that. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's still in my glove box. It's one of those games we don't play very much, but it's there, and we occasionally pull it out because it's super light, super quick. Button Shy Games, as you may already have figured out, they're known for, they make little tiny pocket games like this that you can toss into a purse or your glove box or whatever. And this one I brought to the shop and played with a few people, and we had very mixed feelings about it. We realized we were playing wrong at first, and we didn't realize that the port and starboard cards were completely different things. So we were just playing that, highest sum meant highest sum, or sorry, highest card rather than highest starboard card or whatever. And it was enjoyable that way. And then we realized, it's a little more narrow than that. It has the highest starboard card or highest this or whatever. And that actually took a little bit away from the game. We didn't enjoy it that much because it's very often you're going to look at your hand and go, it's not possible for me to win this. It'll be like highest public card or highest public port card, and you're going to look at your hand and go, I have 2 zeros, a 1 and a 2. There is no way possible I can win this. Great. And so it's kind of annoying, and that happens with us anyways, maybe it's just us. That happened more often than not. That happened. The fact that sometimes it's very specific about highest public port card, and you're like, well, I have no port cards, so I guess I can't win this. Or highest star value. I have all of my cards either have no star value, or and then I have one that has 1, so I can't win this. That's great, and that happens a lot. Now, I know it sounds like I'm talking negatively about the game, and I kind of am. I don't want to say we didn't like it. With a few tweaks of our own, like I mentioned, where the cards aren't as specific, it did make it a little bit more enjoyable. And my group afterwards, I didn't tell them, because the game, I think he said is going to be like $15, $10, $15, something like that. I won't say 10. When I was asking my group and the other people that we played with what they thought, and they were like, it's not great. It's a neat little game that you'd pull out every once in a while, and they're like, I'd pay $15 for it. So there you have it. People who didn't thought it was alright at best, they'd pay more than the game's actually going to be sold for. So there's that. So I don't want to say I don't like the game, but it's not great either. So it definitely has its problems, and I feel a few things that would make the game better would be like if the cards had, when you play a card, they had special abilities. So you're like, alright, I'll play this and I get to steal a card from you or something. And that would be, in my opinion, a lot better. It would be a little more random, but that's pretty much consistently what everybody had said about it, is that if the cards had a special ability when you played it, it'd be better. But anyways, if what you see here sounds interesting to you, I think the Kickstarter might still be going. If it is, I will have a link for it up here. I'm getting this out a little bit late. It's been kind of crazy with my birthday and a couple other things coming along and getting crazy. So kind of one of those things that fell through the cracks a little bit, and I meant to get this out a little bit sooner. But anyways, that is Podex. If you like the show, check me out on Patreon, and I will see you guys next time in the quarantine.